Very good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss Shakespearean sonnet, sonnet number 73. And the title of the sonnet is That Time of Year Thou Mayst in Me Behold. So this sonnet was composed by William Shakespeare, and we know what is sonnet. Sonnet is a short poem of 14 lines. There are two types of sonnet, Petrarchan sonnet or English sonnet. So William Shakespeare has written English sonnet. How many sonnets he has written? 154. And out of 154, 126 were dedicated to his friend. And 28 were dedicated to a dark lady. Now we are discussing the sonnet number 73 that was obviously dedicated to his friend. And who was his friend? Earl of Southampton. So this sonnet was dedicated to Earl of Southampton, who was his friend. And 154 sonnet William Shakespeare composed. Out of 154, 126 were dedicated to his friend Earl of Southampton, and 28 were dedicated to a dark lady. This is an English sonnet or Shakespearean sonnet. Now let's start. The poet says, That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves or none or few to hang upon those buff which shake against the cold, bare ruined choir, where late and sweet birds sing. Okay, that time of year means the time of year. Thou means you. Can. You may in me behold. Behold means see. Means the poet says to his friend that his friend can see in him that time of year. Which time of year? When yellow leaves or none few to hang. When the trees are out of leaves. When the leaves are yellow, when the leaves have grown yellow, some of them have fallen down from the trees and some are hanged. Means what is the time there? The time is autumn. The poet says to his friend that you can see in him the season of autumn when the trees are bare. When the trees are bare, only few yellow trees are hanging, only few yellow leaves are hanging to the trees. Upon those buff branches, which shake against the cold. So which branches? Branches of the tree. So he said that against the cold or against this season of autumn, mostly the branches are bare. The branches and the trees have fallen their yellow leaves, and at present the trees and the branches are bare. Bare ruined choir, a place. This is a place in church where the people stand and pray for God. He said that the place where the people used to come in the church and pray, now this is bare and ruined. That place is ruined. and prayer. Nobody is there now because it is the time of autumn. Where let the sweet birds sing? Where now he's talking about these branches of tree. The branches of tree where let the sweet birds sing, where the birds used to sing sweet songs. Okay, the complete explanation like this. The poet says to his friend that he may see in him the season of autumn when the trees and the branches of the trees have a few yellow leaves because most of them have fallen down. And on these branches in summer, most of the birds sit there and sings sweet songs. But now, just because of cold and just because of autumn, the birds and the leaves are not there. He also says the that his friend can see in him the place that is choirs, where most of the people come, stand, and pray in the church. But now this place is ruined. Second stanza. In me thou see, thou means you. In me thou see the twilight of such day, twilight, as after sunset fade in the west, which by and by black night doth take away. Death's second self that seals up all in rest. Now the poet makes a comparison to his age with the twilight of the day, twilight of the sunset. So we can say that at sunset in the west, at the time of sunset, we find that there is a twilight, means the mixture of light and dark. Actually, at the time of sunset, the light is decreasing and the darkness is increasing. The light is decreasing by and by, gradually. Gracefully, the light is decreasing and the darkness is increasing, and at last, black night doth take away. Means the poet says that I am in the age, I am in that age which can be compared to the twilight of evening. In evening, at the time of sunset, we find that the light of the sun fades or fades gradually, and the darkness increases gradually. And very soon, we find the time when there is black night. In the same way, in the same way, now I am in old age. In the same way, I am in old age, which is just like twilight. And very soon, I will die. Death will come to me. I will die. And all my duties seals up in the rest. Meaning, when I will die, all of my duties will rest or will seal. Nothing will go with me. I will die. The complete explanation. In this stanza, the poet says that his friend can see in him clearly the old age of which is compared to twilight of the setting sun. He said that at the time of sunset in west, we find that the light is decreasing gradually, by and by. And the darkness is increasing, and very soon we find that Black Death has taken away complete light from the world. In the same way, the poet said that I am in old age, I am in the twilight of my age, and very soon I will die, and all of my duties will seal up. I will die and sleep in rest. Third stanza. In me thou see the glowing of such fires, glowing, shining, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. In this stanza, the poet makes a comparison of his age with the glowing of with the ashes. Ashes. क्या होता है ash? After the fire, after fire, we find that the fire will grow to ashes. He said that youth, he said that just like fire. Suppose this is fire. This is what? Young age, youth. But this is old age. In old age, you can find very difficult. It is very difficult to find some fire. So he said that when I was young, I was filled with fire, fire passion, fire energy. So in my youth, I was filled with passion, I was filled with energy. But now my energy or my passion are to be finished. You can find only a little bit of passion and a little bit of energy in me. But very soon, just like the fire changes into ashes, in the same way I will die. My passion and my energy will finish. क्यों? How? As the deathbed whereon it must expire, means that passion and the energy will finish because I am on deathbed. I am about to die and I will expire. My passion will expire. My energy will expire, just like the fire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. And he said that all of my passion, all of my energy will consumed with my body, and my body will expire, just like the fire. In this stanza, the poet makes a comparison between his youth and fire. He said that when he was young, when he was in youth age, he have a lots of passion and energy. But with the passage of time, now he is old, and at present he has a little bit passion and a little bit energy, and that little bit energy will very soon finish. It will very soon die on the deathbed, because he is on the deathbed. That's why after some time he will expire, and his energy of youth will also expire with him, because his old age is just like ashes, just like ashes. We find that in a fire, after some time it change into ashes. So he will die, and his energy, his left energy, will consumed with him. and he will leave this world. Now this is the couplet, and we find that the poet gives problem in three stanzas or quatrains. He gives the problem. But in the last couplet, what he gives? Solution. In this couplet, the poet gives the solution of this problem. What is the problem? The problem is that the poet is old and very soon he will die. Very soon he will die and he is on the deathbed. So this is the problem. But now the poet gives the solution. He said, this thou perceived, observe, thou perceived which makes thy love more strong. Thy, your, thou, you, to love that well which you must leave alone. In this stanza, the poet gives the solution of the problem. The problem is that he is growing old and very soon he will die. Now, in this couplet, the poet says that now you can observe that I am on the deathbed, and which makes thy love more strong. And this condition of me and this situation of me makes thy love for me more strong. Means at that time when I am on the deathbed, your love must be more strong for me. And if your love is more strong for me at that moment, it means a lot for the poet. To love that well which thou must leave alone. The poet says that we know, we know very well that very soon we must leave for a long time. Means I will die. I will die and I will leave you for a long time, for a very long time. So at that moment when I am on the deathbed, your love must decrease for me. And this is my power. And this is my power. I will die with your love. I want to die with your love. So that the poet can go to heaven. We know very well that when someone is on his deathbed, the most of his relatives, most of the people of his near and dear, they go to him, they just meet him, and they show their love. In the same way, the poet says that this is the time of mine. This is the time of my death. Means I am on the deathbed. That's why the love of his friend for the poet must increase so that he die happily. So that he can die happily. He says goodbye to his friend for a long time. So, dear friends, this is the complete explanation of this poem, and we know what is the rhyming scheme of this poem. We will discuss now. Look, when we start to give rhyming scheme, so we find that the first line must be given A. Second line does not rhyme with this line, so it must be given B. Then third one, behold, called, A. Fourth one, hang, sang, B. Now day, it is completely different from the above four lines, so we give it C. This is also different, D, C, D. AB, AB, CD, CD. This is E, F, expire, E, F. And the couplet G, G. This is the rhyming scheme of this sonnet, we find that this is a very fantastic sonnet and it is filled with some pain. It is filled with the pain of old age and autumn. Thank you so much.